Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be continuing in our Python programming series, and today we're going to be looking at data structures once again. So in the last video we covered lists. So what a list is, if you didn't watch that video, it's a place where you can store data of any type and you can edit, remove, play around with the list and use many functions to manipulate the list. In today's video we're going to be looking at tuples. So what is a tuple? Well, a tuple is another type of data structure. In tuples, the difference being that you cannot modify a tuple once it has been created. So in a list, for example, if I wanted to add an extra element, I can just do, add to the list. In a tuple, however, if I want to add an extra element, I would have to reassign the tuple to a new data value that's different from the original one, therefore making a tuple immutable. So immutable basically means you cannot change this function. So the first thing we're going to do is, how do you define a tuple? What are the benefits of the tuple? And how do you essentially use it? It's going to be a very brief video because tuples are very similar to the way lists function, with the only difference being you cannot change a tuple. One of the things to consider is, in a tuple you can store lists. This means that directly a tuple is not editable, but you can edit the lists inside the tuple instead of editing the tuple, if that makes sense. You're basically nesting things inside each other. And the first thing to also know as well is, in a tuple you normally put static data. So what do I mean by that? So say I wanted to have a tuple called days of the week. Well, I would just set days of the week to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we know that it will be never any other day of the week. Therefore that tuple is fine to be stored like that, because it will constantly only contain those static objects. Lists, in comparison to tuples, are much more powerful. They allow you to use many other useful functions, and they can be altered. But you can convert a tuple into a list and a list into a tuple. Likewise, they can be swapped around. So let's just head straight into here and make our first tuple. It's going to be really self-explanatory if you watched the last video, and I recommend you do watch that video if you were to mess around with tuples, because most of the principles are exactly the same. So if I was to open up a idle window here and then open up a script, so I've already called it test_8, and the first thing I'm going to do is my tuple equals, I'm going to do the example of the days of the week. So Monday, and finally Sunday. There you go. So I now have a tuple containing static objects that are the day of the week. I can, just as I did with the string, I can print the tuple, and you can see there it's printed out the tuple including the brackets. So those are essentially all the elements inside the tuple. If I want to print out Monday, I can do exactly what I do with strings, which is just indicate I want the first one and run that. And you can see it's printed out Monday. So that's how you create a tuple and how you can store items in the tuple. I can do my tuple this, and this is how you edit the tuple. Essentially, you're gonna have to copy out the top line. You can't just edit it, and that's why people don't really use it. I mean, I can put in here as well, like square brackets, and that would have like 1 and 2 in it, if that makes sense. And then that's essentially a list inside a tuple. If I was to print that, yeah, so you can see that tuple contains the item 1 and 2, but that's the only way you can really edit the item, because then I would access in here, 0 being the first item from the tuple, which is the list, and then I can edit the list. But that's all you really need to know on how do tuples work. It's just another alternative to lists. Lists are the preferred data structure most people use, but tuples are faster if you have static objects like the days of the week, because then when you're reading code from a programming perspective, you'll know that because it's stored in a tuple, this data is static and is likely not to be changed. So if there's nothing much really else to discuss here in this video, I hope you guys have had a fun time watching me code. I hope you guys are enjoying your progress in Python so far. If there's any questions or any doubts, or you want to learn anything else, just pop it in the comments below and I'll be happy to accommodate. But I'll see you guys around, and I'll see you guys next time.